I'm Rob Woodcox. Prepare to get teducated. Well, I became interested in photography when I was about 19 years old. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew that I wanted to do something related to art. And I couldn't paint and I couldn't draw, so I decided, let me try photography. And I begged and begged and begged my parents to help me go to a local photo program. And the moment they said yes, I jumped on board and instantly fell in love. I just loved the ability to express exactly what I was thinking and what I was feeling and see it come alive in a photograph. That was the most magical experience to me. And I actually started out using 35mm film. And so I had that added magic of the darkroom where I kind of saw my pictures develop. And I had that magic moment of, wow, like I got this photo and it's something that I created and I imagined. And I think, like I said from the beginning, I just knew that I wanted to throw everything I had into photography. While I've been in Australia, I've been having a lot of fun creating art. I spent a good amount of time here in Melbourne, eating the food, seeing some artists, things like that. It's been a wonderful experience. And on Monday, I'll actually be driving the Great Ocean Road. So everyone tells me that's something I have to do, and I'm really excited. But I've also been here preparing for a workshop that I'm teaching this weekend, and it's been a thrilling experience. We've had some of the best students, and yeah, it's been pretty awesome. So I was recently in India and had the privilege to photograph in one of my favorite locations ever. It was this beautiful stepwell. If anyone's ever seen the movie The Fall, a very similar location was filmed in that movie. And so I'm in this dream location and I wanted to create an image to kind of express, a lot of the emotions I experience as I'm traveling, as I'm transitioning through life and looking for, love, for friendship, for new jobs, all those things, you kind of leave pieces of you as you go. And so as I'm traveling the world, leaving pieces of my heart in all these beautiful countries, I wanted to express that through a photo. And so in the image, you can see me kind of sitting on this ledge, far above this water below. And there's these just, beautiful flower petals kind of floating through the image. And so to create that image, I actually had flower petals glued to my face. And I also kind of threw some petals in the air to get some real samples of the petals. And as I threw them in the air, I kind of brought them closer and closer to the lens so you could kind of get that depth in the image. And then in post, I just spent, a good couple hours, piecing those petals together. And after a few hours, I kind of made some kind of brush samples, if you will, to kind of continue that stream of flowers through the image. So yeah, that's how I created my piece in India. I also have this really cool piece involving fire. I love shooting with fire, and it's actually done all in studio. So the image set portrays two people that were in love, but they're kind of falling out of that love. And there's that fiery period where, you don't know if things are gonna continue on or if it's gonna all just end. So there's this, I wanted to portray that hot moment of just like the fire and the anguish, but also like the desire to push forward. And so in the actual shooting process, I have both models in position, and I kind of used some lighter fluid to light the props on fire. And so it's a combination actually in the end of flames that I actually photographed with the model in the scene, and then flames that I photographed with them kind of stepping out of the scene to be safe. I have this photo, it's called The Hauntings of an Unruly Past. And the idea is kind of that this girl is being haunted by the skeletons in the closet. and that, age-old idea. And so I actually photographed this girl sitting on a porch with a bunch of nude figures underneath the porch, kind of like reaching up towards her. And the idea is that she is her own source of power, and she has the power to fall to her past demons or be triumphant and fight against them and overcome. So you kind of see her in that moment of like fear where she doesn't know what she's gonna choose, but she's got all these ghosts kind of lurking underneath. And so that was actually shot in broad daylight, and the people are all real and they're all underneath the porch. And so we're shooting in this old abandoned town in Oregon, and there's cars driving by and, gazing at a bunch of naked people under a porch. So it was pretty fun shoot experience. But yeah, it's actually, to shoot a scene that looks like a night scene, it's actually really common I learned with videographers to shoot in broad daylight, because then you can use, post-processing and certain coloring techniques to make it look like it was nighttime, like it was lit by, harsh moonlight. And so that's kind of the behind the scenes of how I made that image. Yeah, I'm really thrilled to have an image being released in Rangefinder magazine, December 2015. And it was shot in Vietnam. It was a really thrilling experience as well. I was wanting to shoot on the Mekong River, and I knew that, I wanted to have some sort of, fantastical element occurring. And my original idea was to have fish jumping out of the water. But, the shoot rolled around and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, should have been a sunny afternoon. And all of a sudden we see these storm clouds rolling in. And so my friend's like, man, it's do or die. You either have to shoot the photo now or you're not gonna get a photo today because this storm is gonna, blow us out of here. So luckily our boat escorts had just arrived. And so we quickly paddled out into this river. I had picked out a spot about 100 yards away. And so we're just setting up Profoto lights and, frantically trying to compose the shot. And all of a sudden lightning strikes. And that's the moment that I knew we were crazy. We're out in the middle of water, the best conductor there is, in a lightning storm. But, we took the photo, we got an amazing shot, and I'm excited to share it with the world in Rangefinder magazine. What is next for Rob? Well, the next few things that I've got going on in my life are continuing traveling. So I've been on the road for about 4 months teaching workshops around Asia and Australia. And next year I'll be teaching in the US, I'll be teaching in South America, and I'll just be continuing this journey that I love.